Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket episode 21. Oh, we're almost done. Oh, oh, ow. Oh well. Episode 21 anime review. This episode was good, but for me it didn't reach quite the heights. It was interesting to see more about Hana and her character and everything, but those three stooges, I get that they're deliberately annoying, right? I get they're supposed to be annoying, and they're meant to be somewhat unlikable, and they're not the good guys, you know what I mean? And until they get several episodes dedicated to them later, I'm sure. But they're just. It was fine. I still enjoyed this episode. I'm saying it like I was like, no, this was terrible. No, I still liked it, but yeah, I let's just get on with it. Let's just start at the beginning and we let's do it. So we begin with a girl going to a haunted house. Also, didn't write the Three Stooges' names down, and that's what I refer to them as. That's the Three Stooges. You know who I mean. There's a girl goes to a haunted house, and Hana was there, but it was just a dream. And then some girls are talking to Hana at school, who they're going to go to her house to write a newspaper article about the waves. Like, that's a good lie. Uo's like, I'm going to come too, just to sort them out, basically. And then that girl from the beginning is staring at Yuki out of the window, being all creepy. That is kind of creepy. She's not even being discreet. Like, discreet glancing, that's fine, because that's like, you can play that off. You're just staring. There's no way to play that off. Not that I have any experience in this particular field. I've never done no stalking, so I don't know nothing about it, but I've seen movies. Those other two girls show up and they're plotting together because they're going to Hana's house. Right, I'm going to have to check my notes to make sure I get this right. So they want to get rid of Toru because she hangs out with Yuki, but they can't get rid of Toru because Hana's there. So they're going to find Hana's weakness in her house so she can get rid of her out of the way, then get to Toru, because they think they could take Uo because she's a human, I guess. That was their logic. I mean, I know they're all humans, but it's just their logic. It makes sense. The fan club is called Prince Yuki. I wrote that down. Essentially, they're jealous of Toru. They're like, how dare she hang out with him? How dare she have a normal conversation and treat him like a person instead of an idol? Oh, gee, I wonder if that could be the reason why. I have no idea. I'm not a thing. But, yeah, like I said, they're going to her house to find her weakness. Hana has no weakness. She is... I don't know. But now the four girls are on the way to her house, and they're not even really talking. They're like whispering behind her. I'm like, she can clearly hear you. Which, they've got very active imaginations about her house. They think it's some, just a proper haunted house, basically. But no, it's just a normal house. But there's somebody looking out the window, and it looks like a mini Hana. Because it's basically what it is. But yeah, then she says, don't say your names in this house if I advise you. And, honestly, I had to think about this after the episode. But it's because, obviously, if they say it, he would hear it and then he'd scare them using their names later. It was genius when I thought about it. I was like, yes, that is a great reason. But, yeah, then they start searching her room. They find various things. And then they open the closet and her brother's just sitting there in the closet. Is that a fun pastime for him? I mean, he obviously did it because he saw the people coming over. He was like, this will be fun. Because he was outside the closet when he looked out. Unless there's a window in the closet, which it's not a good place to put a window. What if they see, like, your underwear? Up next, tea time. It is awkward. He explains his power is cursing people. His name is, oh man, I wrote it down. Hang on, Megumi, which I thought was a girl's name. But whatever. What's the thing? Gender neutral? Is that the thing where it can be either or name? I don't know. All these terms and stuff, it's too much for me. They don't really want to give their names, obviously, because of the warning that they got. And they ask if they flat out ask her, like, hey, what's your weakness? And she's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And she nails it. She's like, here's why you want to know. Here's what you're planning. And they're like, yes, that is exactly it. Then they have a little bit of a row about Toru and Yuki. I didn't write down all the specific things they said, because you watched the episode, you know what they said. Yeah, they get into a bit of a row. Not Yuki. Megumi is like, hey, you should be respectful and all that, and don't assume just because you like him you can do whatever you want. Good old Megumi. There's a story there. I think there's definitely a story with old Megami that we've not been told yet, and I'm excited to hearing that story when we get it, because this series seems to be very good at telling us the stories in a, in a, what's the word? I don't know the word. I don't know the word. In order, I guess, or in a order, in a way that makes sense. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Then he says their names, and they run out scared because, oh my god, how did he know their names? He overheard them while he was sitting in the closet. I didn't even think of that. It should have been obvious. I was like, what? He is a psychic. But then she says, or she, Hana, is like, I guess I'm a little bit jealous of the Somas too, but I'm not evil like them three. There's three stooges. I might be adding parts to her words. I don't know. Uo and Toru show up to hang out for 5 minutes before Toru has to go to work. And then she's like, my weakness will always be Toru. And I was like, yes. I like Hana. She let her hair down as well. Was that symbolising something? It was probably like some deep symbolism. I don't know. It was good though. I can't complain about anything being good. So the oldest of three musketeers, three stooges, is in a magic circle getting cursed, I guess. It was another dream. Surprise. Big fan of her mum or whatever shouting, stop shouting in the morning. Big fan of that. That's good. None of the three could sleep because they were cursed, and then Hana and Toru show up and like, hello, and they're like, we won't yield to your group, Team Toru. And they're like, hey, the curse takes effect after 3 days. And they're like, what, you mean? And then she's like, you have to wait and see. And then in the like little, not even post credits, just before the credits, she apologizes to Yuki for insulting him earlier on, and he just looks confused, like that too. He was like, and it was like not quite chibi, but not the full, the full thing and the little bubbles. That was a big fan of that. So yeah, that was the end of the episode. Like I said, I sort of get what it was, because it's like, hey, Hannah's got her friends and that. I was not let down, but I guess I let my brain run a bit wild with what they were doing. I'm really curious to see what's going on with Megami though, the brother. I'm really curious to see what's going on with that. I don't even remember what the episode title for next week was. Usually I have a guess as to what's going to happen, but I can't remember the title. But we're approaching the end of season 1, so I'm wondering if we're going to have a big, like a cliffhanger at the end of season 1, or if it's just going to be just a regular episode to end it and be like, we'll be back in 6 months or whatever, business as usual, we'll be back soon with more, and then we'll just continue. I don't know. I really don't know. I've said a million times how much I'm liking this show. It's going to be weird when it's not on. I think that's the thing with these like 25 episode ones, 24 episode, whatever, is that when they stop, it feels like, it's more of an than, if it's a 12, because if it's 12, you're like, okay, watch that. It's 24, it's like extra 3 months. That's 6 months, man. 6 months of your life you're watching a thing. But anyway, yeah, I feel like I've rambled a little bit at the end here. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not already, consider subscribing. There's loads of other reviews on the channel. Check them out. I'd be a big fan of you. Be a big fan of you if you subscribe and watch that other stuff too. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. I will see you next week. And bye guys.